Hey everybody, welcome back to 5-9 Gaming, and this is VariedGeek bringing you the Berserk Chapter 360 for review. This is big because this is Miura's final chapter of Berserk, and according to Young Animal, they have no plans of continuing Berserk at the moment. And I'll talk about this actually right now to get it out the way. There is a basically a note to all the fans of Kentaro Miura from Young Animal's editing department stating that basically they were able to push this final chapter out thanks to Studio Gaga, who worked with Miura on Berserk over the span of years. Essentially, what the letter to the fans of Miura said is basically thanking everyone for their support over the years, letting us know about the next volume release, letting us also know about this chapter, how this is essentially the final chapter. And they were only, like I said already, able to put it out because of the manuscript and the people over at Studio Gaga. It also states that they have no information on whether or not they will continue Berserk, but they basically said that the way they feel about it is if they're going to produce it, they want to produce it the way Miura, or they think Miura would like it, or the way it would basically carry on his spirit, basically, right? So that's their way of honoring and respecting this masterpiece that is Berserk. But until then, we have chapter 364, which we'll get into right now. As bittersweet as reading this chapter was a very wholesome and very familial and very focused on family, because obviously we ended the last chapter with the Moonlight Child appearing. The Moonlight Child, which I believe a lot of fans and even myself have speculated that it could be Guts and Kaska's kid that has been lost due to, the events of the Golden Age arc, which if you're watching this video, you already know what happened in that arc and what happened to Kaska. So we were assuming that this kid was basically a manifestation of the baby, right? The baby that Griffith used to resurrect himself that we saw in the Conviction arc, I believe. I'm not going to focus too much on like everything that happened on this chapter because honestly, like I said, a lot of the chapter was focused on Guts, the Moonlight Child, and Kaska. Essentially what happens in the chapter is Guts is confronted with the child starts grabbing his cave, goes on top of him, starts playing with his hair. We get to see Guts a little more lighthearted. He's been lighthearted for a while now, obviously when he puts on the Berserker armor and the effects that it's having on him with the white hair, the damage to his body, which we actually see in this chapter because there is a moment where Guts is training with a sword without the armor, but he can't even hold his sword. Like his hand is shaking, and you can see all the damage that he has on his body, which is just a detriment of the fact that Guts is still human. Above all else, no matter the crazy movements or the crazy demons that he's fought, Guts is still human, which I really love about this story. So yeah, the child is playing with Guts. He walks in on Farney, Serpico, Shirke, everyone's Isidoro, whatever, however you say his name. I still don't know how to pronounce his name, but he walks in and they're basically eating dinner and they're all just like, whoa, the kid, why is he here? But they know the kid disappears after the moonlight is done. At first, Shirke thinks that it's like the Flower Storm King, and thinks that the kid was following them as a way to protect them on their journey this entire time. That turns out not to be the case, and Ishidori makes fun of Shirke for that. But then Miss Donna shows up and just says, hey, who's this kid? He's cute. What's going on here? So this kid is just here on this island of wizards and fairies. But then they take the kid up to see Kaska, and then the kid immediately runs towards Kaska. They start hugging, very familiar to when she was like quote unquote Elaine, when her mind was still gone and broken. The kid was just very fond of being around Kaska. So Kaska's embracing the kid. And honestly, the rest of the chapter is just like kind of a montage of the kid and Kaska and even Guts. We even get to see a very nice lighthearted moment with Guts playing with the kid when the kid goes inside the Berserker armor and he starts playing Knight with the kid, which I thought was really sweet to see Guts just kind of, I don't know, in a way just kind of act like a father. And we also see Kaska acting very motherly towards this child because both of them have a weird connection to the child, right? Even the Danan says it. A lot of people kind of pointed out that they feel very connected, like Guts, Kaska, and this kid. The very interesting thing about this kid, though, and this island in particular, was that Danan says that this island only allows people without evil intent. So if you have evil intent, it seems like you're not even allowed or something will happen to you on this island. Danan says that because he's here on this island proves that there is no evil intent inside the kid. Like I said already, the big focus on this chapter was the kind of bonding between the Moonlight Child and Kaska and even Guts to a certain extent. Because very, like I said, montage type of chapter where we just see like different panels and different things of just basically bonding time, right? So we all knew that the kid disappears essentially after night and when dawn rises, but Donna mentioned something that's very interesting to this island is that this island essentially is not governed by the same rules as the outside world. Essentially, time flows differently. So even though like an 8-hour cycle where you expect the sun to rise up on the outside world, it may not rise up inside this island. So the flow of time is very distorted in that realm, which gives Kaska and even Guts a lot of time to just bond with the child. So that essentially wraps up the chapter because, again, the main thing, the main meat of this chapter was basically the bonding time and the text giving us hints of who this child is, the distortion in the world. The artwork is a 10 out of 10. And then the final couple pages happen. So Kaska decides to go to bed with the child again, but she, for whatever reason, feels comfort and nostalgia, affection, sorrow. She says all these things while in the same bed, and it reminds her of something. And it reminds her of that distorted baby that we've seen long ago that would protect Kaska and shield her basically from any demon. Anytime a demon would attack her, the baby would essentially guard her and keep her from harm's way. So she wakes up in a stupor, just very like distressed. She looks out the window, she sees Guts. Guts is looking at the child is just sitting there. And then, oh boy, we got a big revelation here. So the kid starts talking, saying, I had a dream. Under the full moon, I was a child embraced by nostalgic warmth. But when I wake from the dream, only a vague sense of longing remains. That too will soon disappear with a single tear like morning dew. And the kid turns into Griffith. Now, I don't know what to make of this. I honestly, the only way I can kind of interpret it is that maybe the kid is like the remnants of Griffith's like honest, his like good self before we see where he's at in Falconia, like that he's like, you know, femto and has a human body. We knew that the baby became Griffith through that arc, through the conviction arc, but this kid always had and there's obviously no evil intent as confirmed by Danan. So this could be the remnants of the Griffith we knew pre-femto, pre-eclipse, if you catch my drift. So that's how I kind of interpreted. Let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think? But it's a very shocking revelation. I don't. Again, it's very unfortunate what happened with Berserk and the creator. We don't know if this will continue, but even at the end, the chapter just says the end. So I don't know, but at the same time, it's just, man, it's kind of mind-boggling how this chapter ended. It's very bittersweet, but it's still like leaves a huge mystery. So one can hope that they continue and honor Miura's legacy with this manga, but again, we'll see what they decide to do. Rest in peace, Miura. But overall, the chapter to me was just, it was great. It was great. Reading and like seeing like Guts as like kind of happy finally, just spending time with the kid because every time Miura gave something happy to Guts, like the next page, it was like, hey, guess what? Here's more trauma. So I don't know. It was very cool seeing Guts acting kind of fatherly, Kaska seeming kind of motherly. But again, this final page of Griffith, it's hard to interpret what exactly it means. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. What did you think of it? Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you all in the next 5-9 video. Thank you guys for watching.